War broke out in Europe on September 1st, 1939, after Nazi Germany invaded Poland. Soon after, Britain and France declared war on Germany. By June of 1940, Germany had captured Paris, and France surrendered to the Nazis. The Germans had also captured Belgium, Luxembourg, Poland, the Netherlands, and Norway. The Nazis created the Axis powers, which consisted of Italy, Japan, Hungary, Romania, and Bulgaria. The countries who fought against the Axis powers were called the Allies, and they included Britain, the USSR, the United States of America, Canada, Brazil, Belgium, Australia, China, Denmark, Greece, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Poland, South Africa, and Yugoslavia. Now, famous Russian historian Brian Poehler will talk about the start of D-Day.
In the summer of 1944, it became obvious that to achieve Allied victory, the Allies would have to invade France. Germany was stuck in a bloody struggle with a mud-hurried army in Russia, so it was a good time to invade from Western Front. So the Allies started planning an invasion of France. They called this invasion Operation Overlord. They knew it would be difficult because of Germany's Atlantic Wall, so they came up with a plan to trick the Germans. The English and Americans set up false inflatable vehicles, troop camps, and leaked a fake communication that General George S. Patton would lead this fake army to invade France. The Germans believed this fake plan and set up extra defenses and sent extra troops to the region of Pas-de-Calais, where they believed that the invasion would occur. The truth was that the invasion would occur in Normandy, France.
Now, history expert Andrew Baina will talk about what actually happened at D-Day.
Before the attack on France, the Allies bombed key infrastructure of the Germans for preparation of the land invasion. These runs would help the Allies throughout the whole invasion, aiming at railway yards, bridges, and roads. Amassing in South England, the Allies were getting ready to invade across the Big Sea. But weather changed things a lot. Because of bad weather, they had to postpone the invasion, which led to the start of the invasion on June 6, 1944, also called the Days of Days. The operation became known as D-Day. Prior to the invasion, a day before, the Allies dropped parachuters. These men were the best of all the militaries. These men's job was to weaken the coast to let the main troop get into the beach easier.
At 6:30 on June 6, 1944, 8 different countries crossed the English Channel on 7,000 vessels. There were 5 codenamed beaches that the Allies were going to land on: Utah, Omaha, Gold, Sword, and Juno. The Americans would take Utah and Omaha, and the British and Canadians would take Sword, Juno, and Gold. Even though there was extensive planning, there were many landing crafts that released the soldiers ahead of the shore. Casualties were extremely high on the first wave. At Utah Beach, they arrived about 2,000 yards from the expected landing zone. Even though they landed extremely far out, there was little resistance, and only about 197 to 300 people died. At Omaha, the story was completely different. The Americans came up against the well-prepared German 352nd Division. There were many losses, and the Americans advanced very slowly. It eventually took 3 days to capture the beach. 5,000 Americans died in this assault.
During the invasion at Gold Beach, it would be beaten easily to the British forces, even though the Germans were prepared for it. Sword Beach would also be beat easily by British forces, although the Germans were much stronger than Gold was. Juno was a whole different story for the Canadians. 30% of the landing crafts were lost before they could get to shore, and 50% of the soldiers died, but eventually they beat the Germans.
At the end of D-Day, all the beaches had been captured, and the Allies were now on the offensive. D-Day and the days after were called the Battle of Normandy. A total of 425,000 soldiers died in the Battle of Normandy. 225,000 Allies died, and 200,000 Germans died. In addition, the Allies captured 200,000 Germans. Also, between 15,000 and 20,000 French civilians were killed. D-Day opened up the path to taking Paris, and ultimately led to the Germans' defeat and the end of the Third Reich.